So this year, our Southern Living Test Kitchen was on a mission to find the easiest, tastiest pumpkin pie recipe on the planet. We tested literally hundreds of pumpkin pie recipes, a lot of them from our Southern Living staff family members, and cobbled together bits and pieces of each one that we loved, certain ingredients, certain techniques, and we've landed on the perfect recipe. So here's how you make it. You wanna start with a pie plate and ta-da, a refrigerated crust. I know a lot of people are fans of homemade crusts, but we found that the pumpkin pie is all about the filling and the whipped cream, so a refrigerated crust is just fine for this. And you don't have to tell anyone that it's a refrigerated crust. You can make it look homemade by pinching up the sides the same way you would with a homemade crust. Fold the crust up, and then with your thumb and forefinger, pinch it together. So before we blind bake it, we're gonna line it with a little bit of parchment paper and weight it down, and this is to prevent any bubbles from popping up when we bake it. You just press your parchment paper in, and now we're gonna weight it down with some pie weights. You can find pie weights at any specialty cook store. If you don't have pie weights, another trick you can also use is dried beans, like dried kidney beans. All right, so we've got our crust ready to blind bake. We're gonna put it in the oven at 425 degrees for 15 minutes. So our crust is blind baking in the oven, and while it bakes, we're gonna go ahead and make our filling. We're gonna take one 15-ounce can of pumpkin. To that, we're gonna add 3/4 cup of sugar, a little bit of salt, 2 whole eggs, and then 1 egg yolk. And now our secret ingredients. We tested pies with milk, we tested pies with heavy cream, and what we ended up using in this perfect pumpkin pie recipe is buttermilk. We loved the buttermilk because it's super southern, and it also gives the pie a little bit of a nice tangy flavor, which was super unexpected. And we're adding a little bit of vanilla, and instead of pumpkin pie spice, we found that it was a little bit too overwhelming. We're just gonna go with 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And so now we're just gonna stir this all together. And since this is just kind of a 1 bowl dessert, all you really have to do is stir. It's a really great recipe for kids to get involved with. My crust has come out of the oven, it has cooled slightly, and now I'm gonna take the pie weights out and we're gonna fill it. You just wanna pick up each quarter of the parchment paper and then gently dump it back into the container. And now we're gonna take our crust and fill it with the filling we just mixed together. And we're gonna put it back into the oven at the same temperature, 425 degrees for 10 minutes. And then we're gonna turn the temperature down to 325 degrees and let the pie finish baking for about 35 to 40 minutes. So our pie baked for about 40 minutes till it was puffed around the edges and just a little bit jiggly in the center. And it's been cooling now on this wire rack for about an hour. So I'm going to garnish it with my favorite pumpkin pie garnish, which is straight up whipped cream. And actually, I don't even sweeten my whipped cream because I think the pie is sweet enough. And now some freshly grated cinnamon. And there you have it, the easiest and tastiest pumpkin pie ever. I promise you and your family will love it.